Hello, Cromer. Welcome to Carnegie Hall's Link Up concert series. I am Rebecca with Flagstaff Symphony Orchestra, and I'm the teacher trainer. So I'm going to walk you through very briefly how to share Link Up with your students. So this is third, fourth, and fifth grade. So your fourth and fifth grade are a little bit familiar with this process. So from the link that's also included here, click on this button. Our concert this year is The Orchestra Sings. Oops. So if you go to concert repertoire, here are all the pieces that we're going to do. You could also go to overview. This is a little easier. And here are all the pieces that we're doing. So Come to Play is our theme song for Link Up. So your fourth and fifth graders are already probably familiar with this song. I am assuming that most of you are just going to be singing. So when we're on the Come to Play page or any song page, it has our music that will stream. So I'll show you on this song. It'll play, sing the words along with you. When we are at parts where it's more than one, you could just have your students sing the part that they already know, which would be this middle line here. I have my students pick what they would like to sing, especially if they're in fourth or fifth grade. So this goes through the entire song. You can adjust the volume. If you want to start in the middle, you just click where you want to start and hit play, and that's where it'll go. Pretty user-friendly, which is really nice. If you scroll down, each song will then have a PDF of the sheet music if you wanted to have that in their hands, and also just the vocal parts. So it's not a video, it's just the music. This has just the singing for that first part that we heard or the other parts of the song. And then each piece has this one has a video. This is the song. If you wanted to add a little more oomph to your Come to Play, this is a recording studio. Each piece has some repertoire extensions that go along with it, and we'll look at that in a minute. So that's the basics for Come to Play and all of our pieces. If we go back now to our overview page, Ode to Joy by Beethoven is also a singing piece. It can be a recorder piece. So the same thing, we're going to have our video here to just play and sing along. We do have two sets of words, so it will repeat and come back to sing our second verse. Again, we have our sheet music if we want, as well as just the audio of the music. The next part, this video, this is also included on every song, is the projection that will be shown at the concert. So if you want to show your students, when they come to the concert, they do not need to bring any kind of book or any other materials, just a recorder if they're playing that. So this is the music that will be, or the video that will be on the screen behind the orchestra so that they can see the words. So it doesn't have to be memorized. So this is available for you also. Also a singing and playing piece. Just go down the list. Finale from the Firebird Suite is a listening only piece. So your students will do nothing during the concert except for sit and listen. So here's a listening of it and then some excerpts. We will take a look at the repertoire. There's the story, some nice writing activities that are possible, a listening map, is simply a guide to, let's see if we can pull that up for you, to listen how the story goes, how the music follows the story. Perhaps. Here we go. So here's our story about the phoenix bird. And when we start with our song and our story, we're quiet. Then you hear French horns come in, harps, strings. It gets louder. It's very loud. So this is a map that can help guide your listening, as well as the story here. So that's part of the Firebird Suite. There's more about the cultural influences. Dvorak came from Czech to New York for our other piece. So he wrote the New World Symphony. So we will click over to that one. The New World Symphony was based, the New World was then the United States. Which is here. This is a recorder only piece. So if you're not playing recorders, I would suggest listening to this piece and discussing maybe that the New World was America. And you can listen to this excerpt and you can follow along with the music. I did a question and answer with my students recently that many of them had heard the song before, and they had heard it in places like funerals and military services and things like that. So you can tie in cultural influences. Each piece has a bit about the composer. So we can find out that Dvorak was born in Bohemia. You can pull it up on a map, have a little geography. It tells us a little more about him, gives a picture for each one. So again, you'll find that for each composer if you want to expand beyond just singing the songs. Oye is a singing and dancing song. So again, we have our music with the video. I just have to hit play. This one is a little different in that it has movement with it. So here's our translation of the song. In our audio, we have a pronunciation guide. So if you're not sure of how to pronounce the words or you want a little extra help, there's that. And then this video does a great job of teaching the students the dance moves. So this is, again, not very long, and the movements are pretty intuitive. They're not too difficult. And then again, we have our repertoire extensions and our composer bio. All right. And now Ram Torimaya. This is my favorite this year. This is a Hindu song. And this is wrong. It's actually a singing song. So again, it's in a different language. It's in a little different feel for what we in the United States, kind of Western music is often not in 7/8. So this just feels a little different in the rhythm, but it's very easy to pick up on. Again, you can print out the sheet music. Here's our translation from the Hindu. And again, we have the pronunciation guide, the complete singing along, and the orchestral version. In the videos, this first one is the composer, and she is sharing the Deep Chandi, which is a way of keeping rhythm, which is different than we traditionally do it here in the United States. And so she walks through how to do this pattern. It's a very, it's a worthy video, I think. And then dance instruction that would go with this song. So again, we have repertoire exploration, talking about melody, melody and poetry. So you can build on the melody or on lyrics and do some writing activities in your class, as well as the cultural influences that come from the different countries. And our last one is We Shall Not Be Moved. This was a freedom song that came from slavery times and was again used in the 1920s in the labor movements of the United States. It was used in the Chicano movements in the, I believe, 1970s, and the civil rights here in the United States in the 1960s. It was also used in a military coup in Chile. So the idea is it's a great protest song. It's very easy to sing and it's very repetitive. Um, this one is a little different in that it doesn't have the sound slice. So here's our words. The audio is generally just the first verse. So my students and I have been singing this just a cappella, so just us. And it goes like this. We shall not be moved. We shall not be moved, just like a tree that's planted by the water. We shall not be moved. You'll notice on the next verse, only the first line is changed. We're on the road to freedom. We shall not be moved. We're on the road to freedom. We shall not be moved, just like a tree that's planted by the water. We shall not be moved. So it continues, changes the words, just that first little line. This one has an excellent extension activity using lyrics to share a message of unity and hope. We've done this with our class, my classes, and we'd encourage you to do these with your classes and submit any to myself or to Mary Nebel that you find are really great. So the Freedom Song lyrics walks you through what's a problem in your life that you might have. Our students actually did that we need more bathrooms. We had everything from world views issues to they want more food at lunch and that we need more bathrooms. So what is an issue that you care about? Expanding on your message. So what are things that you could do? So our example is climate change and recycling together. So we then come and add that to our verse. Recycling together, we shall not be moved. Recycling together, we shall not be moved, just like a tree that's planted by the water. We shall not be moved. Adding two additional verses such as reduce, reuse, recycle, we shall not be moved. Another one could be mindful with the water, we shall not be moved. Mindful with the water, we shall not be moved. So excellent writing activity for your students. It dovetails nicely with the song. So those are our basic songs. And if you want to sing, just go to each song and hit play. It's as simple as that. If you want to add some things, again, there's lots of writing and lots of story, cultural influences that you can add. So you can find each of these on each page, or you can find it also here. So if you wanted to dig into each composer a little bit, share the videos, all of those things. So this is the basics of how to get started. I am here for you, whatever you need. So if you just want to do the basics and hit play, we would love that you prepare your students for the concert so that they can have this wonderful experience. If you get into it and you want to delve in a little more, do some more of these activities, or study the composers a little more, or do some more of these activities and you need some help, I am here to help you. So lots of ways you can integrate this into your regular classroom activities. So reach out for whatever you need. And thanks for sharing Link Up and Music with your students. And keep up your great work. Thank you. Bye.